Hey there, it's Lance.
And Sam.
And we are Love to Hate. And we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary of being a YouTube board game reviewing channel. 1 year ago today, May 25th, 2020, right in the midst of a pandemic and COVID starting and all the craziness that was going on in the world,
we needed a hobby.
we decided to start Love to Hate, in which we were at a point where we wanted to take our own personal experience with board games and see if we couldn't help out the countless of you out there who we know are in a similar spot that we were in which one of you might be a gamer and the other might not be, and helping you all to find games that fit well for both of you so that you both can enjoy this wonderful hobby and someone doesn't have to feel like they're being going through torture, being brought to the table or whatever the case might be. And plus, for gamers, a lot of times we know that, you know, when the person we're playing with isn't really having a lot of fun, that kind of hampers us and the fun that we could be having too. So hopefully in the last year we have given you guys videos, playthroughs, reviews, previews of games that have helped you in some way, shape, or form find good games that work for both gamers and non-gamers. Yeah. So we announced on our Facebook and Instagram here recently that we were going to do a Q&A session in this video. And so we got some questions written down here that came from you all. And so we're going to answer some of those. So Sam, why don't you start us here?
What has been our biggest learning curve?
Well, biggest learning curve for me is just how much time and energy it takes putting into editing. You know, it looks so easy watching all the different YouTube reviewers out there, just watching all those videos and how they can talk about things so clean and precise, and it looks like a polished, finished product when you watch it on YouTube, or at least a lot of those YouTube channels out there, not every single one of them, but it's a lot of hard work, editing, getting the lighting right, getting the audio right.
I do zero of any of that.
I wasn't going to say that, but
Lance does all of it.
It's a lot of hard work. Yeah. And so we were starting with nothing, literally
at our kitchen table.
Nothing at our kitchen table, using what we had, bare bones equipment, and, you know, just kind of fumbling along through it. And now, a year into it, have gotten better than some of our earlier ones. I don't know, you guys be the judge of that. But we've definitely learned a lot of tips and tricks and followed a lot of people who have helped us a lot along the way, mentors, some groups out there that we're part of that have just really been a lot of help to us. So
I moved all our kids' rooms around so that we could have a board game room.
She's a good wife.
Have a better place. Mostly, though, I did it because we had board games in every area of our house. We had them. We had them in our closet, our bedroom, our kitchen, our laundry room, our kids' room. So we put our two youngest boys together, and now we have one room for all the board games.
And it works.
It does. It does work.
I mean, for now, until this room gets too small and we need to maybe move our bedroom out and the master bedroom becomes the new game room. So we'll see about that. Keep watching. Thing that you've learned since starting a YouTube channel, what do you want to say on that one, Sam?
I think probably the time commitment, where you have a unique work situation. I work nights and Lance works days, so that doesn't always leave us a whole lot of time to be able to you know, do board games, to play, and that means I have to play a lot of board games, which is difficult being the non-gamer.
You get to play a lot of board games.
And since I work nights, I'm tired a lot, and so having to be ready to be on film is not something that happens a lot during the week. So we have to plan ahead. We have a calendar of games we have to play, games we have to film, games we need to review. And there's so many steps for just one game that it can take us weeks to get a certain video out. So that's why you may see us in the same clothes for multiple reviews, because we've played all the games, but we haven't had a chance to film because I'm not physically ready to be in front of a camera. And so we have to play catch up a little bit. So that's been a big learning thing.
Yeah, and I think what I would say there too is just getting to see how our marriage works when it comes to things like her hobbies and my hobbies, and just engaging in each other's hobbies. That's one thing that we've talked a lot about with our viewers and just random people that we talk to about our love to hate, and that is that this isn't just I have this hobby of board gaming and I drag Sam along in through it, and she's just, she just has to deal with it.
Which I think a lot of people still see it that way, and that's fine. But it's my husband has a hobby and I like spending time with him. And so this was a good balance. He doesn't purposefully choose games that he knows I'm going to hate. Sometimes it happens, but his goal generally is to find a game that I'm going to enjoy, even though I may not enjoy it the first go through or learning the rules and things like that, which I really truly hate. But we found some keepers in there as well. So, and
plus, I do go into your hobbies too of watching Marvel movies, which is totally her hobby.
Yeah.
Don't anybody think that I'm saying that that's her hobby when it's really mine. No, that she's
mine.
Obsessed with Marvel. So,
I think too, and there's aspects of the creative process that I've enjoyed too. At the beginning of the year, all our introductions had little skits and things in the beginning, which was a lot of fun, just not sustainable with our time commitment.
Yeah.
But we did have a lot of fun.
We did.
Definitely go back and watch our Back to the Future. That was our best one.
That was the most fun that we had doing. Both of the Back to the Future ones are a lot of fun, actually.
The beginning little thing. So, best part of having a channel.
For me, it's definitely getting to play all the games, and which, but there are so many games that we would have never have known about if we had not started Love to Hate. And just getting to meet new people, publishers, designers. A lot of them are first-time designers or publishers, and so they're just starting up. And if we didn't have Love to Hate, we would have never known them, never would have met them, never would have gotten to see their cool product or introduce the world to this cool product.
Getting to be a part of that process of seeing a prototype, which I didn't even know was a thing before our channel, getting a prototype of a game and knowing this isn't like the full fill of it, but enjoying it, and then we get the real one in the mail, and it's just like, wow, we saw this from a baby game, and now it's grown up, and there's been a handful of games that we've really got to see that whole process come round circle, and it's just been really cool to see.
Yeah, especially when you see it out there in the world and people are playing it and enjoying it, and you're like, man, I kind of feel a little bit a part of that. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and something I don't think we would have ever gotten to experience before this.
What's the worst part of having a channel?
Probably how many people recognize us.
Oh, please. Oh, please. Zero. Yeah, the worst part is that nobody knows who we are.
No, mine, it's learning the games. Another question that we get, probably our most common question is, does Sam still consider herself a non-gamer? I think people, if it's just based off of the amount of games I've played, then no, I guess I'm a gamer, but it's not my hobby. I do not enjoy learning a new game. In fact, if there's any arguments or fights that we have over the channel, it's, we got to learn how to play this game. And Lance is very sensitive to it, but I hate it. I hate learning the rules. I hate learning. I don't keep it in my head like Lance does. The first round through a game, I'm constantly saying, okay, wait, what do I do? What can I do with this? I get frustrated. I get angry. I don't like feeling dumb, and that's how I feel. But Lance does so much research before a game, watching other reviewers, reading about the game, doing the playthrough or doing the rules videos. So he's coming to the table with a week's worth of knowledge over me. And so I choose that. I don't want to do any research or do anything like that. I don't even want to see a rule book. I don't care. He does that. But that's the worst part for me. I don't mind playing games that I enjoy. I hate learning new games with a passion.
The worst thing for me is whenever you get to play a fantastic game, or even just a good game, but one that you want to kind of sink your teeth into a little bit more and get to play it a few more times, there's just not the time or opportunity to really be able to do that. Because if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of games and there's just more coming with each and every month.
Yeah.
And so finding a fantastic game that you just love, and then, you've got 5 others sitting off to the side that you need to play. It's kind of a good thing, bad thing kind of mix with that.
Because pre-channel, if there was a game that I liked, we played it often. We played Azul. I've probably played Azul 50 times, and now we find a game that I like, and I may only get to play it 2 times. If we really like it, then we'll take it to our friends' houses and maybe get to play it with them once. But in general, we find those games that are perfect for gamers and non-gamers. It's helpful for y'all, but we don't necessarily get to play it very often because we just don't have the time. We have 4 kids and 3 jobs.
Right.
So
yeah.
But it's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have. I don't want to sit here and be like, woe is us.
Yeah.
No, we do enjoy getting to do this. It's just if we can make time stand still, that would be great.
Yeah.
So, what is the best games that you have played since starting Love to Hate? Sam, why don't you start? We've taken a couple of our 2 each here of the games that we've reviewed so far, and so Sam, why don't you show them the ones that you have
and
there?
This was a really hard. There's probably many behind us that we could choose from, but 2 of my favorite. This is a great game. Knock Knock. It is a perfect little party game. It's fun. I remember the first time we played this. We probably played it with our 2 friends like 10 times in a row.
We no joke, probably played it at least 12 times straight.
Yeah, and it's just very enjoyable, very fun. Love this game. Definitely always going to keep this on the shelf. And my next one that I think surprised Lance a little bit, I loved Villagers. There's just something about this game. And it's one that I have been able to play more often than some of the other ones because we've played this with a lot of our friends. Such a fun game.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy it. What type of game would you say this is?
This is an engine building game where you are definitely trying to build up a village of workers who can help you to get other workers that help you get points eventually. And
Love it.
It's a pretty unique, well-built engine building game that is very similar to one of the games that I picked. This is probably a streamlined, simple, easier to understand version of Everdell,
which I would also agree is one of my favorite. I just have not played it as much as Lance has.
Which Everdell is just a fantastic game.
It's the prettiest game.
It's a beautiful game, absolutely beautiful game. Deserves all the high marks that it gets from all the other reviewers out there. Like I was saying with Villagers, that's an engine building game. Everdell is very similar in the same fashion. It's just, it's a little more complex. There's a little bit more going on. It takes up quite a bit more space on the table. But man, it's just a beautiful thing to look at. You feel at home with this game, and a lot of the mechanics just work real well with it. And so that I wanted to make sure to bring out. And then another one, which is a more recent one that we've reviewed here, is Nidavellir.
Also an awesome game.
Full game too, with
which
the
if you would have
coins.
asked me a year ago, are there any pretty games? I'd be like, what are you talking about?
No, these components in both of these games here are just top notch. And Nidavellir is like, I said this in our review video of this, it's like Splendor on steroids.
Which is
Which is
right
one of
up
your
my alley,
one of your favorite games. and just, using the deck building of trying to get better cards with the cards that you have. And except in this case, you're using the coins and that bidding mechanic of trying to get the cards with those coins or building up the coins. This is such a fantastic game. It's still new too, and so if you haven't yet experienced Nidavellir, you got to go out there and get it for yourself. So we wanted to show those games off, some of the best games that we've gotten to see in the last year of doing Love to Hate. So the last question we'll talk about here in our Q&A are surprises. What have been some surprises that you've experienced with Love to Hate? Sam, what would you say to that?
I just think that being able to experience so many different types of games just really opens your eyes to, like, I don't know. At the beginning of this, we had a handful of games. I enjoyed them, but my idea of games was still Life and Monopoly and things like that. And those games mean nothing to me now compared to everything that we've been able to see, all the different types of vocabulary that I have learned about board games, which I think is another reason why people would consider me a gamer. I know all the lingo now, types of games that I like, but just knowing the people out there that have created so many types of awesome games, it's just, it's eye-opening to see everything. And it's been great to, there's a lot of people that want game recommendations for their kids because all they know is Monopoly.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But I think one thing we've gotten through this is we've been able to find more children's games, which has been nice.
Absolutely, yeah.
For kids, anything that we can do to make this a family thing is always fun. And so we really have learned a lot about, what are we looking for our kids as well. And I think being able to recommend things for other people and their children and to bring families closer to be able to play games together, it's just, especially in a year where we couldn't be out doing things. I mean, that's why we created this, is because we were at home playing games, but most people didn't know that all of this existed in the world.
Yeah.
And so I think that's been, a lot of surprises,
Yeah. I think for me, probably the biggest surprise with Love to Hate has been the fans. And I don't want to sound like we've got a lot. No, but what fans we do have, we are just so very thankful for you guys out there and just how just genuine it seems you guys are, and how you like our posts, you like our videos, you give us a lot of support and positive vibes and comments out there. When we were starting this channel, we were kind of thinking, okay, maybe, our closest friends will really, jump on board with this, or our family will be like, oh yeah, that's really cool, we saw your videos.
Yeah.
Never in a million years did we really think that, people from all around the world are going to be watching these videos and, telling us, hey, that really helped. And, thank you so much for that recommendation. I've tried this out with my spouse, or I tried this out with my kids, and they really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. That to me is really cool, because that's the whole reason for why we started Love to Hate in the first place, was really to help people to connect and help people to find ways to have something to bond over at a dinner table without screens, without being distracted in some fashion or another, but to sit down and kind of pour their minds into something together and have an enjoyable experience while doing so. And so it's just really been a fun ride to get to see how Love to Hate has kind of had an impact on other people out there. So,
yeah. And we've had some people ask Lance, like, why are you forcing her to play games that she doesn't want to? Why don't you go and play with gamers? And one, pandemic, we couldn't. He could not go out. He had to choose me. And two, we enjoy being together. We wanted to incorporate this hobby into something bigger. And we joked about Love to Hate probably 6 months before we ever made it a channel.
Oh, it was long before that.
You know,
it was probably 2 years before we decided to make a channel.
It's always been a running joke that Lance loves board games and I hate them. We joked about making, a little skit about it and a, Facebook group about it, but I don't think we ever went as far to think YouTube channel until probably about 6 months before the creation of Love to Hate. And I think it really just kind of happened overnight that it was, you know what, why don't we do it? Yeah, we have nothing else to do. And so, it's been a lot of fun. It's been, I still don't love board games, but I love what we've created. And I think anytime that you can, bring spouses together or couples, families, friends, roommates, that have different hobbies, and bring them together, I think it's going to be a good thing.
Which, isn't that what we need in the world right now, is just more coming together and kind of building bridges. So
yeah.
Well, there you have it. That was some of the questions that were sent to us, and we wanted to share that with you guys. A little bit of what we have in mind going forward with Love to Hate, some plans for the future. Obviously, we're still going to continue to do our previews, reviews, playthroughs, all of the things that you've been seeing out of us up to this point. We do want to continue to do some giveaways. And so, in fact, right now, we do have a giveaway going. We are actually giving away a copy of Farts and Fairies running on Kickstarter right now. So make sure to check that out. Actually, it's not running on Kickstarter right at this minute. It's going to be coming up on Kickstarter quite soon. But you do want to check out our Facebook page if you want to make sure to be in the drawing for that copy of Farts and Fairies. So we're going to continue doing all of that stuff. Some of the other really cool things that we are going to be trying to do in the near future, just interactive stuff through our Facebook page, our Twitter page as well. And so make sure to follow those, as well as Instagram too.
We have it all.
Yeah.
And then, you may not have noticed, we've slowed down a little bit this last month with getting some videos out, and we just have some, my mom was recently diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and so that's something that our family's kind of going through. So you may notice some ebbs and flow with our videos. So if you will just keep her in your thoughts and prayers, and just know that that's kind of what we have going on the side right now. So, life kind of.
Right. Certainly.
Yeah.
So anyhow, again, thank you guys enough for everything that you have supported us and shown us love, and continue to do so. Each and every single video that we put out there or post that we put up, we really, truly appreciate that. And if you're somebody out there who are just now watching us for the first time, or maybe you've watched us 100 times, but you haven't ever subscribed, please, please, please subscribe. That's so huge to us. It really does mean a lot. It helps us going forward to continue to put out new videos, new content. So we really do appreciate that.
Yeah. So, and we try to get a video out every couple days. We usually have 2 or 3 a week, it seems like.
At least we try to do that at least 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah.
Yeah. So like and subscribe and push that bell button. And linked below, we'll have our website where you can buy Love to Hate apparel. If you are a game publisher and you would like us to review your game, there's a form that you can fill out, and we would be happy to.
All right, there you guys have it. I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.